There are many weird and wonderful claims made on the packaging of health foods and herbal supplements. But how do we know the difference between health food fact and health food fiction? And should claims be backed up by scientific evidence?
So I think everything should be tested. To what standard, I don't know. I'm not into that.
The European Food Safety Authority have taken on the task of scrutinising these claims. A staggering 80% have been rejected, and manufacturers will soon have to drop them from their packaging. On the surface, these regulations seem to be a good idea, but will they have a hidden impact on the people who work with health foods?
I think we'll see a fair number of closures. Certainly shops will need to adapt.
Furthermore, does anyone care if products are backed up by scientific evidence?
Diet pills is a classic example. They claim to do all this stuff, but they don't. They just muck up the human body. And I have read articles that have proven that.
The EU are also clamping down on third-party dispensers of herbal medicines from April next year.
The Chinese community will no longer have access to their traditional medicine because the directive says you can't have it.
Health claims can be found on the labels of many everyday products. According to the European Food Safety Authority, a health claim is any statement that implies, suggests or states that a given product can have a health benefit. The European Food Safety Authority are demanding that health claims be backed up by sound scientific evidence. In the latest batch of verdicts, claims by many popular products have been rejected, such as prunes help to keep you regular, chewing gum helps to fight plaque, and probiotic drinks are good for the gut. After April 2010, many products sold by third-party herbal dispensers will become illegal. Qualified herbal practitioners will lose their jobs, and the Chinese and Indian community will no longer have access to their traditional medicines. It could also spell disaster for the Western community, who could turn to the unregulated internet for medicines. An unlikely casualty of the looming regulations could be the health food retailers. They sell many of the goods that are currently under scrutiny. I'm off to see John Frisby, Chair of the Health Institute and health food shop owner.
Shops that are weak will not be able to survive the legislation. Some manufacturers have already declared that they will not bother to produce some of the products because the cost and the requirements to get these products onto market, it far outweighs the sale of these products. So yes, I think there'll be a fair number of closures of stores and loss of jobs in the natural market.
A direct result of the European food safety regulations is that manufacturers who can't prove the claims on their packaging will have to stop using them. This could mean less information on labels and more confusion for customers.
We're obviously aware that we can't make wild claims for products. I think the problem with claims is often comes from what I just said, from publications and from national newspapers, etc. that sometimes make wild claims for products that are really stretching the bounds of what a product and a herb can do. But I personally always like to bring people back down to earth and explain to them that you're not going to take this pill or this powder and be cured overnight. You know, natural products, like nature, takes time, and you've got to work with nature.
Mayway is a distributor of unlicensed Chinese medicines. The traditional herbal medicinal products directive could change the company beyond all recognition. How will it affect you? Will you guys go out of business?
Well, it will definitely affect the business. Probably at least it will affect 50% of the employees. Yes,
right.
Maybe more. We're not sure at the moment because everything is up in the air. We don't know how. We're just looking at how the business can change with the requirement if their registration doesn't go ahead, but we really don't know. It's going to be very difficult for the normal person on the street to access the herbs. It is, at the moment they can access the herbs through the herbalist. After April, it will be more difficult because it's going to be difficult for some of the herbalists to continue providing the herbs to people because of how the law is going to affect them. So, yes, I mean, they may go back to taking conventional medicine, which is going to be back on the state again.
Christina Jenkins is one of the many people who will be at a loss when she won't be able to access herbal medicines in April next year.
Like my daughter, I have fibromyalgia as well, which leads to a lot of pain. So we take natural pain medication wherever we can, basically, or get addicted to prescription painkillers, which I don't want to do. The government should definitely be backing up more health food.
Really?
Yeah, definitely. I said I've lost 3 stone in weight just by changing my diet, which has helped my medical conditions a lot.
Has your doctor helped you?
Not in the slightest. He just gives me prescriptions, which is normal for doctors. So I just get given painkiller after painkiller. Not interested because I can't cure my conditions. So all they do is throw prescriptions at me.
The EU licensing process for medicines is only suitable for single ingredient products. However, the majority of Chinese medicines on the market consist of multiple ingredients. This makes obtaining a license impossible.
There's trade being affected, there's the availability of the ethnic medicine to the ethnic community in the UK. That is being outlawed by the directive. And the other avenue, which is the registration, the MHRA have said that they do not see the directive as a general route for Chinese herbal products because of its complexity.
Those opposing the directive are campaigning for a statutory register. This will allow products which are not suitable for our licensing system to be used by qualified herbal practitioners.
According to the regulations, after the end of next year, unless herbalists are statutorily registered, they will not have access to the pills and they will not have access to third-party dispensing, which is dispensing by suppliers of herbal medicine. If the herbalists were statutorily registered, then under the European Medicines Directive, there is an Article 5.1, which is an exemption from licensing, which is available to recognised healthcare professionals, which the herbalists would be in that case. And then they could commission unlicensed herbal medicines, which the Chinese herbal medicines would be.
In March this year, many practicing herbalists and organisations involved in herbal medicine made their concerns known in a demonstration outside the Houses of Parliament. The demonstration received little media coverage and the campaign is still to have the desired effect on policymakers. Gerard Sullivan from the Mayway Distribution Company wrote to his local MP, but he was ignored and sadly received no reply. These regulations seem to leave the herbalists between a rock and a hard place. However, there may be light at the end of the tunnel. Chinese herbal shop owner Lu Hong is already devising strategies to allow her to continue business after the regulations come into force in April next year.
The first, we need to improve our service, and I think if the service improved, and some of all the customers will come back, and that's the first thing what we are considering. And second, it's because it's herbs, we will get some of the British famous brand herbs inside of our shop. Yeah, they are still herbal products, but they are got certificate. That's what we want to do next. We want to do a combine with the Chinese herbal medicine together. I think it's a good way to combine the Western and the Chinese herbal together. Because at the moment, nearly 80% of the Chinese herbal shop, they only do Chinese products. They don't do involve Western medicine, Western herbal products. We know the wholesaler has tried their best to contact with the government to apply for the new license. Because even we are Chinese medicine, we are legally here. All of our products, it's come from the UK wholesaler. It's not we get it from China.
Herbalife is a global nutritional and weight management company. They sell a number of herbal supplements and wellbeing goods.